What's up, Falcon fans? This is the recap video where we discuss what happened to the Atlanta Falcons. If you guys like this type of content, hit that like button. If you guys hate this type of content, hit that dislike button. It will hurt your boy's feelings. Well, maybe just a little bit. But also, if you want to do a huge favor for your boy, hit that subscribe button. It will help all the empire grow. So on that note, let's talk about the good, the bad, and the Falcons. Let's start out with the good. When it came to the offense side of the ball, obviously the Atlanta Falcons rushing attack was marvelous. 41 attempts, 184 total rushing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns by Bijan Robinson, who had a 95 rushing yards today, 22 carries. And then Desmond Ridder, when he got the chance, ran it 3 times, got 11 yards and 1 touchdown. So that was fantastic on that department. And when it came to the defensive side of the ball, I thought our 2 linebackers did a pretty good job in Caden Ellis, who got 11 tackles, and then 1 sack and 1 quarterback hit. And then Nate Lampman, who got 8 total tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss, a pass deflection and an interception and a quarterback hit. I thought, that really helped us almost try to win this game. AJ Terrell, I thought he did a pretty good job in coverage, 2 pass deflections and making sure he didn't give up a touchdown. And I know some people are going to say, this defense is not that good. We gave them 25 points, and that's true. But think about this. Matt Porter got 4 field goals. Now, the last one, it was the very ending game. So if you take that one out 3 times, we stopped them scoring 7 points. So they could have scored 21 points instead of 9 points in total with those field goals attempts. And that would have been a bigger narrative, again, like we did against the Tennessee Titans, where we gave Will Levis, those 4 passing touchdowns, where after that, he's not scored a single touchdown so far. But, now let's talk about the bad. Yeah. I have to admit, I kind of saw this coming. It was writing on the walls if you really know football. And boy, do I feel like an ass. Where I said in my preview video, we should have won this game on a landslide because we were a superior team over them in total. But guess what? We didn't take the advantage over their missed unfortunate opportunities coming into this game. You cannot tell me how come we are constantly making teams better than they really are. They are a 1-8 team, now 2-8 team, where we just look like we don't understand how to face quarterbacks. Kyler Murray is a good quarterback. There's no denying that. He's not an excellent quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback. But when he's coming off a season injury, I think last year, or knee injury at some point, but this is his first game coming back. And you treat him like he's been in the NFL for 10 plus years, hasn't lost any type of mentality. He was doing a really good job besides that 1 interception, but he was, throwing it to Trey McBride. But even still, it's one of those things I don't understand. The Atlanta Falcons are not capitalizing on the misfortunes on other teams. In fact, it seems like the opposite, where the other teams are capitalized on our misfortunes for some reason. The running game for the Arizona Cardinals, we couldn't stop them. They didn't bust through, 20 plus rushing yards, but they were slowly but steadily just yanking and grinding for, solid, 4 to 5 yards per game. In total, they had 122 and 2 rushing touchdowns. And then yet again, I said this before, our kryptonite, one is quarterback mobilization, my boys. This has got to stop. There are key moments in key situations where we allow the quarterback uses his feet to get the first down, to move the chains so they can score touchdowns or field goal or points or any type of situation that you can gain the other advantage over us. Number 2, Trey McBride. You gave this man a legendary, historical, probably movie-worth type of mentality, type of game. 8 receptions, 131 receiving yards. First time in his career this season right now. It's just unbelievable. It doesn't feel good when they say, wow, this is the first time a tight end ever got a 100-yard receiving game, since, 1989. It doesn't feel good. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that the Atlanta Falcons just find a way to make the other side have a glorious, epic, football sports movie mentality where at the end of the day, it's like remember the Titans on those other, football games you see in movies. It's just, why? Why do we allow this to happen? And I don't know, it's the defensive coordinator, it's the Arthur Smith, is sometimes the defense gets tired, or we just don't want to produce. I just don't know why we're allowing this to happen. And I don't think this Falcons team is bad. We have way too much talent to lose like this. Now, yes, we didn't get blown out, 40, 50, 60 points per game, but that's not the point. The point is you have to find and maintain balance, right? Kyler Murray, you're supposed to lock him in inside the pocket. Sometimes you didn't do that. You let him go out. You didn't contain him enough, consistently enough, where he found guys, sometimes open. And remember, I said in my preview videos, their wide receiver core, it's not bad, but it's not excellent either. You found ways to kind of get them off their rockers and not getting them, big yardage. But then again, we have also been in trouble when it comes to tight ends. We have not been doing a so good job in covering and giving them touchdowns. And it's just like, if you can't fix it now, when are you going to fix it? You should have been fixing it by week 4, honestly. That's what coaching does. You fix the problem, you figure out solutions, and even today, right now, if you look on Twitter, Arthur Smith said, we're not going to change any coaches. This is the problem with him. If I keep bringing this up because I like military, I love the battlefield, I like looking at, war tactics, because a lot of it does represent what football is today, right? And so when you have a general who's not consistently or considering changing bad, commanders, and the reason why you're losing thousands and hundreds of men, and you just don't do anything about it, and you wonder why you keep losing the battle but not the war, it's one of those situations that is so simple-minded. Figure out how you can change and adapt the plays, right? I'm thankful that Arthur Smith decided to run the ball, but I'm not thankful for him not trying to pass the ball. I don't understand, why do we not have over 100, receiving yards and passing yards, combined? We're not using Drake London very much until, Desmond Ridder came in the helm, where he was finding him. Kyle Pitts is still, I don't know, it must be the play calling that is not working with Kyle Pitts, because Kyle Pitts is way too much talented to not him. I can't even say correct words because it's so frustrating that Kyle Pitts, and now you see on Twitter, free Kyle Pitts, trade Kyle Pitts. Can you blame them if you want to get something out of it? But that's the thing. I don't know if I could trust this organization to make the right maneuvers, to get the right players at this point in time. And I like Kyle Pitts. We have seen in his rookie season how good he truly is. And Jonnu Smith only got 2 targets for some reason. I mean, that's your go-to safety blanket guy. We don't have a true number 2 wide receiver. Now, Kadarius Hodge, I didn't see him at all for some reason. Was he hurt? I don't know. I mean, Scotty Miller did a fantastic job in getting that touchdown, but those are the crazy design plays that Arthur Smith just doesn't do a lot, or the lack of, and it's just so crazy to me. Like, how, come on, like I know I'm not a genius when it comes to football, tactics, and I know a lot of people say, oh, they know football because they watch football, use your eyes, but come on, there are certain things that you should know and not to do and when to do, and it just, for some reason, I don't know. And then Jesse Bates. This is the first time Jesse Bates made a lot of plays. Were they good plays or not? But a lot of times I noticed Jesse Bates kind of bite the ball a little bit. And I know a lot of people are talking about Richie Grant. I have to watch it again because I was so enamored and to really I just wanted the game to be over. I don't know what's going on. And I know a lot of people are going to blame him for that. But we have to understand, Jesse Bates, or sorry, not Jesse Bates, Richie Grant, he's not the guy you want him to be on the battlefield first round. You want him to be the second tier safety blanket to making sure that he helps the other people who don't do their job right. That's what the safeties are meant to do for the first place. So I know a lot of people are going to blame him for that, but I think a lot of people don't comprehend what a safety is really supposed to do. But I digress on that. Sometimes the play calls are just not there, or timing, or anything that happens is just crazy in my mind. Now, obviously, Arthur Smith, he has to go. I'm sorry. We're not going to win any games until Arthur Smith is gone, unfortunately. Do I want Arthur Smith to get fired? Hell no. I want Arthur Smith to be good and take us to the promised land. But I don't think we're going to win this division. Does anybody honestly think we're going to win this division? And do you think we should win the division? And do you want to win this division? Those are the type of questions we have to answer ourselves in this bye week, unfortunately. And of course, the offensive line has to do a lot better in protecting, you know, Taylor Heineke and Desmond Ridder as well, giving them a little bit more time in the pocket where they can find and hopefully their wide receivers get separation. But then again, it's the play calling that a lot of times we don't allow our wide receivers or weapons to get open on one-on-one individual wide open coverages, or at least give them an amount of time where they can get separation. It's just one of those things. Unfortunately, it just happened. And then you know the offensive line still gives up 3 sacks per game, unfortunately. Regardless if if Heineke's holding the ball longer than he should have, it's one of those things. Is so situational that you really have to dive into again. But you know what? Yeah, it's Atlanta Falcon football. So now let's talk about the Falcons and the Cardinals. When we lost to the Commanders, that was the turning point in my head, realizing this is not going to be a good outlook for us in 2023. And it has been proven right so far. When you can't score over 30 plus points, when they were giving up 30 plus points per game at that time, and we only scored 16, that was maddening. And then, you lose to the Tennessee Titans, where you allow Will Levis to get his first starting debut as a rookie, and you allow him to have 4 total touchdowns, and he looked like a golden jacket warrior. And then when he faced the Pittsburgh Steelers and now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he has 0 touchdowns, and both of those games he has 1 interceptions to boot. So that was strike number 1. Strike number 2, allowing Joshua Dobbs just get media attention after he only came into the Minnesota Vikings organization 5 days when he was traded by the Arizona Cardinals. And boy, he made our organization look like idiots. He won them that game in flying fashionable colors. I just can't believe we allow him to just ball out when he didn't get a proper time to really establish himself with the Minnesota Vikings. But it just felt like he'd been there for years. That's strike number 2. Now strike number 3, allowing Kyle Murray to win this game when he's coming back from an ACL tear, his first game back as an Arizona Cardinal, and making him look like he never left the building at all. Unfortunately, the record shows you who you are. We are a 4-6 team right now, and I personally don't feel like we should be that, because we have all the talent. We got all the pieces in the cookie jar to make this a delicious dessert. But for some reason, we're just lacking in a lot of cylinders. Coaching, sometimes the play calling, and just other key moments as well, unfortunately. But I do think this Atlanta Falcons team is so much better. And unfortunately, we probably won't see it until next season. But for the Arizona Cardinals, a huge shout out to them, because at the end of the day, they wanted to win this game, and they showed you that they wanted to win this game. And good luck to you guys in the last 7 games. Hopefully you guys have a great season moving forward, unlike us, because at the end of the day, I just don't see us really making a big splash anymore, because we don't know that Arthur Smith is going to get fired tomorrow. We don't know if he's going to get fired during the bye, or we don't know if he's going to get, or we don't, yeah, exactly. We don't know if he's going to get fired during any other week or after this season. Who knows? But hopefully everything pans out, because I do love this franchise. I do love this organization, and it just needs to treat, the fans and the city right. That's all I have to say. So on that note, if you guys lasted this long to the very end of the video, thank you so much for taking your own personal time and day to watch these Falcon content videos. I have more here on the screen for you guys if you guys are interested in. So what do Falcons do? Rise up. Until the next episode, show love and peace to the world, and peace.